Hello, my lovelies. Welcome. I am Stephanie. I am a modern day mystic and a guide, and I use as my primary tool of transportation into the unknown the tarot. And today I want to talk about my red decks. It's very common for me to talk about wanting to start a reading with a specific deck that I feel called to, or a deck that caters to a particular person or a topic. When I just want something straightforward, I'll reach for a black and white deck. And I've done a recording about how I choose black and white decks and why I want the simplicity of no extraneous information. But many times I need depth, I need color, and I will reach for my red decks. I have one go-to red deck that I'll talk about in a minute, but I'm going to talk about my other red decks and why they would possibly apply when life is spicy. And when someone is bringing in something that's maybe something that feels too big to handle, we have archetypes already in place to put names on things. And once you name something, even if it's a very, very, very big box, it gives you a handle to lug it around and to maybe examine all sides of it to find an entrance that's acceptable for our size. So I would like to show you the cards. Let's get into the cards. I have, first of all, mentioned that I always go for the stereotypical Rider-Waite-Smith approach. However, sometimes an oracle deck will be specific to what a topic is. When I talk about red topics, I'm talking about what are sometimes considered very spicy conversations. And Pablo Barbieri has done an amazing job translating Dante's Inferno into cards that you could consider nightmare cards. And I have another deck as well that's not shown here that if I need to go into the psyche or the subconscious in a way that is particularly spicy, I may reach for an oracle deck. But we're specifically talking about tarot today. I just wanted to say that Oracle is an amazing way to go into areas that are not the stereotypical archetypes created in the Fool's Journey. It's going into the subconscious because we've got these amazing deck creators and artists that have gone places that we don't know perhaps about. And then when we follow them there, we can recognize ourselves or recognize what we haven't seen before. There is a deck creator named Travis McHenry who created complementary decks, the Angel Tarot and the Oracle Tarot. I am of the opinion that in this particular situation, it's helpful to have tools to go into the occult, but that belief system that Mr. McHenry has created has a correspondence of angelics to the corresponding um, uh, different, shall we say, characters of the occult. It's easy for people to use a demonic type of language when we're talking about two sides of a pendulum swing, but humanity having many, many different experiences, these cards allow us to go places where I would usually say angels fear to tread. However, you have an angelic as a guide. That's a little deeper topic than we'll have today, and it will be interesting to have conversations about that if any of you are particularly skilled in those areas. I also, human sexuality comes up a ton. So in my carrying case with the tassel on it, I'm not able to show you the deck, but I can show you the back of the box. This is the Tarot Sexual Magic. This was created by Laura Tuan, and the art is by Mauro De Luca. And this particular deck has very different little white book meaning. However, I find that the imagery And the approach is many times used in a not sexual fashion when we're using topics of human interconnection and the emotions that come when people are working closely together. But it is a very red topic deck. And I will pull it out when health and human sexuality is coming into the read-oriented people's lives. I have said that I have a go-to deck, and we'll talk about that in a minute. But first, I feel as though I'm introducing a lover when I introduce you to the Yakuza Tarot by Mineo Shop at mineoshop.com. This Yakuza deck has been one that feeds my soul. And I can tell you that there are, I believe, three additional major arcana with this deck, but the one that I simply cannot get enough of is Irizumi. I hadn't pulled out the other one. This one just happened to fall out, so I'll share it as well. And Irizumi is a tattoo artist working on a man who has chosen his ink, and it is a self-expression legacy card, specifically the symbol of spiritual identity, sacred markings. And the little white book says the needle hums, not just on skin, but through soul. This is more than just art, it's memory, ritual, rebellion. Each mark is a vow. It's not about how others see you, it's about how deeply you claim yourself. I am unable to describe how in love I am with the images that they have created in this book. The power in the women, the uh, lack of simplicity in the children. I think I have a child's card here. Oh, this little uh, Page of Swords looks as though he is very untrusting of the universe and everything in it. And I am in love with him so much. So I will, if I am given the opportunity to pick a deck because I am in love with the deck, if I'm given the opportunity to read with these beautiful people, beautiful cards, beautiful people. Then given the opportunity, I will work with this deck just for the love of the game. I simply cannot get enough of the Yakuza Tarot and the images they put together for us. My God, the chariot in the wheelchair. Ah, I just can't get enough. So I will let you watch the Queen of Pentacles and the Tarot or the chariot while I clean up the cards, and then we get to the deck that I always reach for. So it's very, very common if I'm not led in other directions or conversation with a querent doesn't lead me to do something other than um, my standard go-to, that I will look for a yes or no answer, not specific yes or no. There's ways to do that, and I will talk about that at a different time. But that there are black and white answers that I just want. I reach for my black and white deck, and if I'm like this situation has color, sexuality, interpersonal relationships, drama, needing color, needing curiosity and wonder, although I would probably go for more of a manga or an anime deck if I wanted to bring in super lightness or fairy decks for those types of things, and I'm known to do it. But the deck that I go to, my go-to gal, is this beautiful Pulp Tarot. The artistry is in color, and that's the color of life. And so for us to pull out, not only to rest after battle under the four swords, but to do it in such a way that is such a California style that I absolutely adore. We have the uh, uh, American largesse coming out of the 60s, and we have the uh, uh, color and pop of that pop culture that just absolutely uh, is always going to bring a new adventure to the reading. So I will end this with the Nine of Cups on my table, where she is just absolutely, she's holding on to the guy's tie, and she's got all the full cups around her and a very, very old phone. Um, and just the joy and the fun of being absolutely um, delighted with all of her trophies in her lingerie, holding his tie with the phone next to her and a full bottle of wine. There's just such joy to it. And so if I need to bring joy in, if I need curiosity, if I need to bring in color, joie de vivre, then I will reach for a red deck. And specifically, I will reach for the Pulp Tarot. But if it is a lack of joie de vivre and just the thickness of the depth of life, I reach for a red deck because life is sometimes thick and full. And we need to be able to go there too and drink those flavors as well so that we can have the balance. Thank you so much for letting me share with you why I enjoy a red deck over a deck of many colors, or over a black and white deck, when there is much of life to be lived and when we are living so much life that it is inundated that we need to really pull apart the depth of meaning. So have an amazing day. Thank you for letting me talk with you, and I will see you next time. Bye for now.